So today, guys, I'm excited about this mod. I've been researching stuff for a while as far as intakes go, and check out what I just purchased. It's the Mishimoto air intake system. I looked at all the different ones. There's the PRL, there's a K&N, AEM, and I just like the overall design of this one. I like how it is enclosed, but then it also has a little opening in the front, so you don't get too much heat soak, but you also get more of that turbo sound, or the turbo spool sound as well, which I was looking for. I didn't want to go full open either. So I think this is a good one. I did a lot of research, like I said, and people have had it, love it. I think it looks really good. Has the carbon fiber lid here. I think it looks sharp. And overall, it's not like too much. I like it to be kind of clean looking. So in the engine compartment, I think it'll flow really well. Has this where the original ducting goes in here to pull air from the outside, which is nice that they utilize that. Overall, really nice. And it has this little open area too, so you'll get more of that turbo sound, but not letting in too much hot air as well, just because it is facing the front of the car too. So I like that about it. And that's where the hooks into the grommet. So everything fits like OEM. You're not gonna get any rattles with this thing. I'm really excited about it, guys. I know that there's a discrepancy as far as like, does it add a lot of horsepower? You know, they say it does. But overall, most people buy these things for the sound, a little bit better airflow. But I mean, the horsepower is probably negligible, really. So really excited about this. So let's go ahead and get started on the install with this, guys. Okay, guys. So the first step we got to do, in essence, you just got to remove the factory airbox. And it's pretty basic here. There's a clamp, a couple bolts, and then a grommet, and then the mass airflow sensor as well. And you got to take this air duct out too. If you guys notice here, these back two, one's missing and one's broke. I tried to take this out earlier and they are really brittle. They snap so easy. So I'm going to have to replace those two. I'm hoping I can get the front two out without breaking those two, because they aren't cheap for the OEM ones. I think it's like $4 a piece, but I'll go ahead and order those once I get this all put back together. So here's the one I broke. So that's garbage. Now you got to remove this and set it aside. Now, I forgot to take the rubber grommet off the actual air box and connect it to the air duct that I just took off. So you're going to have to pull that grommet out right here in the very bottom and attach it. And you'll notice if you didn't do it, when you go put it back together, there's going to be a gap between the air duct and the Mishimoto box. So that's how I figured it out. It just pulls off and then goes right underneath the duct. And you got those two bolts there. So I'll go ahead and loosen those guys. Okay, so I went ahead and loosened them up. I left them in place right now, just so I don't lose them. It's nice too that this car has them accessible, so they're not buried in there, they're just in the front. So that's the only thing that holds it to the car, plus there's a grommet in the rear of this box. That's just by pressure. So, okay. Now you need to take the mass airflow sensor off. Now, what I always do with this, I undo the mass airflow sensor and then I tuck it to the side. I don't unclip it or unplug it, because what I've noticed with that is if you don't connect it all the way perfectly and you power the car on, it's going to throw a check engine light. So there's no reason to even unclip it. You can just tuck it to the side here. So I'll show you here. So I took out the two screws. They're right here. You don't need these for the new one. They give you their own, but you want to save them just if you ever go back to the setup. Okay, so I want to be gentle with this, and I just take it out and I tuck it to the side here. Like I said, if you want, you can unclip it, but there's no reason to. Okay, so once that's out of the way, you don't have to worry about it. Just be careful. Then I'm going to go ahead and loosen this up too, but I should have just loosened the one behind it, because that all comes out. So you guys could take it all off at one piece. I'm going to do it in sections here, but so I disconnected this. Now the one thing you have to know is the mass airflow sensor is connected by this green clip to the lid of the airbox. So you're going to need to unclip that before you take the airbox out. Now you can snip it if you want. Now I'm going to go ahead and use pliers and depress it. So if I ever go back to the factory air box, I can just clip it back in, but it doesn't go anywhere in the new box. So I'll show you. See here, I depressed it, so it's still usable if I go back, but for now it's just going to connect to the Mishimoto air box, and then it's not going to connect anywhere, that little clip. So so you can take it off however you like. Okay, so pretty basic. Like I said, hope I don't bore you too much with this, but it is a really easy install. It's just you're doing it in steps. Okay, so I took the lid off and the filter. So now this is probably the trickiest part. It's attached. If you look behind this bolt here, if I can get an angle, there's a little grommet, and it's just by pressure too. So you got to pull up on the back of this box really hard to pop it off that grommet. Okay. That was the hardest part of this install, because you kind of felt like, is it connected still to something? But it's not, it's just that grommet. So let me show you a little trick that I learned. So you see this right here? You got to push this back and then pull this little ear right here forward. So then when you pull up, it has some room to actually get off of the grommet too. I was doing it and it kept hitting those wires, and it wouldn't give it enough leverage so you could pull it. So just force that little ear above that, in front of that little bracket, or all those wires there, and then pull it really hard and it'll pop off. Okay, be careful with your knuckles too, because this is where you'll mess your knuckles up. But pretty much that's what you got right there. Okay, so I went ahead and I removed these grommets from the factory airbox, and the Mishimoto airbox uses these. So the best thing to do is go install those right now so you don't lose them. What I liked about this is it uses all the factory hardware. So this just goes in like that, one on each side in the front, and then the metal dowel goes in the top of it. Gives you something to screw to. And what I like about it too is that'll make it so it gives it some play, which air intakes need, because there is a lot of vibration, and you won't get any squeaking or rattling under hard acceleration, which is nice. Okay, so we got that done, and we took if you look here, I took the hose all the way off where the throttle body almost is. Okay, so all that comes off. It's those two clamps that you remove, and just slide it off, okay? So now you got to push the grommet through the lid here. Now you push hard. If you guys can't get it, what I would recommend is take that grommet off of the little dowel that's actually on the body of the car. Just pull it off really hard, and then you push it up under the box. Then you just push it on the dowel that's built into the car. A lot easier that way. I should have did it that way. I struggled with it, so that's the right way to do it. And you'll see once you have it off, you transfer it from the car to the Mishimoto box. And that's all you do with it, guys. Okay? So now we want to get the air filter here, just lay it in the box with the clamp. And put the clamp in a way where you can easily tighten it too. Don't make it hard for yourself. Okay, so we want to do that. And then the mass airflow sensor housing is going to go through the hole here. You see it here? It's got to fish the mass airflow sensor dropped a little bit. So you fish that out. Okay, and then this is going to go through and attach. Okay, so I got the mass airflow sensor back out. Okay, now we just got to put the filter in. Show you here. Okay, got that in. It's a little tricky at first. It doesn't look like it's going to fit, but so you have to go the coupler side in first, and the rest drops in. Okay, so here's a mass airflow sensor. It goes in through the hole, and then you attach it and tighten it up with that clamp. Okay, and this is going to spin on you too, so it's normal till you attach it to the actual car. Okay, so I tighten this down. So now it's like one piece. If you look at this. Okay, and I just hand tighten those. I didn't like tighten them down. I want to get everything in right. So right here, you want to get it nice and tight. So all moves as one piece. okay? And I go back and tighten everything at the end just so you can get it all lined up right. Okay, so the next step to do is you're going to put the Mishimoto coupler in like that. It goes where you can read the writing. And it's going to attach the two pieces. Very basic. You just put it on. The easiest way is put it on the box first and then slide it in. I think the best way would be put the coupler on the box and then put the box onto the car. They don't tell you to do that, but it's so much easier because the coupler is pretty stiff too. If you can see here, you have to bend it quite a bit, but just take some finagling and then you can get it positioned where you want. So I always put it on the box first and then attach it to the car so you're not prying on the throttle body. So here's how it's going to look, guys. So it goes like this here so you can read the word Mishimoto, okay? And then it goes up to the mass airflow sensor, the little house, where it attaches to. You kind of want to tighten it all down because you want to put the sensor on first. Because if you're not careful, you can put that coupler too far up to the mount and then the sensor won't sit flat. And then you will get a check engine light because it won't seal. So here's the bolts or the little screws they give you. I think it's an Allen. I don't think it's a Torx, then it's an Allen key. So I had those. Takes a real teeny one to tighten that down. Okay, so then I'll tighten everything up. Then you're just putting the lid on and you're going to tighten it all up, guys. So here's what it looks like, okay? So I tighten that up right there. I tighten that up. And I put these 4 little Allen keys on, put the lid on. And the last step to do is to do this and put the air duct in. So very basic. This probably took me all of 20 minutes to do, guys. It really did once I had the tools ready. Okay, so here's the full setup, how it looks. So I got this one put in, and I found these clips that I had left over, but they're not right. If you can see here, I can pull them up quite a bit. Okay, they do stay a tad bit, but I mean, if I pulled up really hard, they're gonna just come right out, especially this left one here. I'll show you. I just stuck them in for now, but I'm gonna go ahead and order those 2 new clips just so it's all uniform. You know, it will hold fine with the front too, but you'll get more movement of it. I don't want that. So if you look at this one here, that's what it is. Just a little pressure clip. Like I said, the hole's too big though. So just for now, I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, guys. I love the look. Like I said, it looks very clean, not overly done with that. Just flows with the theme I'm going with too. So, which I like. Okay. Has real carbon fiber lid here. I like how it uses the factory air duct to shoot cold air in. And it has a little opening too, so you'll get more of that noise, okay? So let's go ahead and start this up and see what it sounds like. So guys, I'm just gonna rev it up one time here because I want you guys to hear it actually on the road. Doesn't do anything, just sitting revving it in the garage. It's not real world driving. So let me go ahead and do that for you and then I'll start driving it, okay? Okay, so now I'm gonna drive here on the street. Now it's pretty loud to me, but I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, so do your best and listen to it. I'll have it on sport mode here. Sorry, I have the windows down in the beginning, so it's kind of loud, but I'll shut them. So tell me what you guys think. So guys, I hope you could hear a little bit of that. Like I said, it's hard to pick everything up on the camera. Definitely a sweet sounding intake. I love it. You can hear definitely under partial throttle a loud induction noise, and then when you let off the throttle, you can hear that nice bypass sound, like the blow-off valve type sound. So it's really nice. It's loud enough where if someone's walking and I do that, they always turn around and look. So outside the car, it's pretty loud. I highly recommend this one. If you guys want a fully enclosed one, it does mute it a lot. So that's why I chose this one, because it has a little opening on it, so you get some more noise out of it, and it doesn't allow it to get too hot. I don't drive far anyway, so it doesn't get a lot of heat soak on there. So I wasn't too concerned about it. But just wanted to share that with you guys. Hope you liked it. Reach out to me if you have any questions. I'll definitely try to answer those the best I can. And I appreciate all your guys' support. I really do. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks, everybody.